Hello, dearest friends, dearest beautiful co-creator souls of love and light. This is Nanari, Princess of the Sea, coming to you with a new video. Now, I've had so many people on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, private messages, you name it, who have been either publicly posting or privately messaging me, or publicly messaging me or asking me in sessions for mentoring lately, what is with the ringing in my ears? Some people think it's tinnitus or tinnitus, depending on how you pronounce it. We say it tinnitus here, I believe. Yet it is possibly, you want to always, I'll put that disclaimer, you might always want to go to your healthcare physician and have it checked out just to make sure everything is copacetic. That said, however, there are soulful reasons why this is happening, as well as some physical reasons why this is happening. So I want to delve into the soulful reason first. The soulful reason for ear ringing has a lot to do with vibrational frequency. So what's occurring right now is we are in the midst of a huge transformation in consciousness. And there are many people on this earth who are shifting in vibrations. Now, there's a lot of talk about fifth dimension, sixth dimension, fourth dimension, 3D, you know, all of this stuff. And I'd like to share with you that really it is so much more than just 3D, 4D, 5D, okay? We are multi-dimensional beings, okay? So we're able to be in more than one dimension at one time. Now, I've done a video that explains this as well, and I also did recently a channel on this as well. And you can refer to my other videos on YouTube and Facebook having to do with what vibration and what frequency is. But when you are in multidimensional consciousness, what it really means is that you have the ability to be in more than one dimension, or seeing, feeling, sensing, experiencing more than one reality, as we call it, at once. Okay, so you can see my other video having to do with vibrational frequency and the spoon and what that means. Some of us are, and more of us actually, are more and more coming into tune, our attuned heart, our attuned soul, having to do with being in more than one place at one time, physically, spiritually, soulfully, okay? Our consciousness is infinite. So we have the ability to be in more than one place at one time, in a soulful perspective, in a dimension perspective. And I'll also refer you to my channel as well. I'll put links in the video description for all of this. So what's happening is that when you shift in vibrational frequency, or you tune in from one channel to the other, if you will, sometimes an ear ringing can occur with that, or a lot of times, or all the time, because as you become more cognizant, aware, awake, and aware of the fact that you are multidimensional consciousness and you are shifting multidimensionally, and you can be in more than one place at one time, physically, spiritually, soulfully, energetically, you shift so fast, so quickly, that what tends to happen is that you have those ear ringings. Okay, so it's that vibrational frequency. Now, there's also other things going on with different hertz frequencies that are in our atmosphere here on this earth plane, and in other dimensions that others are tuning into. We are shifting multidimensionally in different brainwave frequencies and hertz frequencies. And so as you tune more into that, you will also pick up on that, and it will come through as an ear ringing. Okay, in shifting dimensions so quickly and picking up on these energy frequencies more quickly. Okay, so it's kind of like if you listen to a radio, and you know how when you turn that dial on the radio. You don't have it a lot nowadays because of digital tuning, but when sometimes you can do it with a digital tuner as well, but when you have an analog tuner and you're tuning it and you're kind of like in between one station and another one, and you're kind of getting that static and you're kind of getting both stations in at the same time, that's what multidimensional consciousness is, and that's why the ear ringing is happening. Okay, so for those of you who are being asking, that's really what's going on. Now, from a physical perspective, there is something else that's going on too that a lot of people may not know about. And this is something that's known as fluid retention in the body and fluid retention around the brain and around our heads and our ears and whatnot. Now, just recently, I went and experienced a few months ago something called ear candling. Now, there's a lot of different theories about it. Some people say it doesn't work. Some people have miraculous results. I can tell you from having it done several times that for me, it was quite beneficial. Usually people think it has to do with removing earwax, and in some cases, yes, it does. But when you have certain issues like myself, because of the mercury poisoning I've had and heavy metal toxicity poisoning that I've had my whole life due to vaccinations and having mercury fillings and things of that nature, my right side is, my Eustachian Tube is susceptible to not drain properly. And that's just a condition I've had my whole entire life. It caused many childhood illnesses of strep throat, something that's also called as tonsillitis. For those of you who may know that terminology, it's not as widely known here in Scotland, that word per se, but strep throat type infections and whatnot, I used to have those constantly as a child, and a lot of it had to do with eating dairy products and GMO foods and processed foods and gluten and things of that nature that, you know, I was made to eat as a child, mainly because my parents didn't know any better. Most people, you know, don't know these things, you know. So it was a combination thereof, but because of it, I've had Eustachian Tube issues on the right side, and my left side, I had been told several times over my life, but most recently when I had the ear candling done, that my left side overcompensates for it. And so fluid tends to get built up, and if you notice, if you can just take your fingers and place it into that soft part behind your head right here, you can do it with both fingers. If you notice that it's what's called spongy, okay, that means you have excess fluid there. And so I went and I had this ear candling done. So for someone like myself who has issues, ear candling, not only it helps with the wax, which it wasn't so much the wax buildup for me, because I regularly clean my ears with hydrogen peroxide, which is very beneficial for that, and have been doing that for many, many years. So it wasn't so much the earwax as it was the Eustachian Tube drainage, which goes into something else that I'm going to get into in a moment. But that said, there's fluid that builds up in our sinuses, and I remember as a child I used to do this all the time, you know, just this. And my mom used to, because of this old wives' tale, she used to tell me, oh, don't do that, you'll end up getting wrinkles. Okay, well, you know, a lot of you know how old I am and what my birthday is coming up and how old I am going to be from an earthly perspective, and yet I'm pretty, you know, well good on the wrinkles, you know. And so there's pockets here in our sinuses, and it helps to get out, I think, for me in a way, it really did. And I've known many other people who've done ear candling and what have you, who have said that it helps to draw out that fluid. And so there's something that is a lot of people don't know about that's tied into this, which has to do with tinnitus or ear ringing from the earthly perspective of things that are going on. And that's what's called as our vagus nerve. Vagus as in V-A-G, I think it's A-U-S, or maybe it's U-S. I'm going to read something from you that I found. It's V-A-G-U-S. It's the vagus nerve. And so the vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in our body. And it regulates our digestive system. It also affects all of our systems, cardiovascular, respiratory, immune systems, the endocrine system, and our lymphatic system. And so one of the things that was given to me in a download in meditation while I was having this ear candling done, in conjunction with what the woman was doing, as she was doing the ear candling, she was kind of, you know, doing this little you know, massage here and there just to try to draw the fluid. And what I was receiving in meditation is that to stimulate our vagus nerve is very important because it makes us sluggish. Things such as depression, anxiety, irritable bowel syndrome, stress, all these different things, anxiety disorders, Alzheimer's, migraines, or migraines as it's pronounced in Canada, we call them migraines here, fibromyalgia, having trouble with weight gain, all sorts of different things have a lot to do with your vagus nerve not being stimulated. Now I want to go through a few ways that you can actually stimulate it so that it's actually flowing, because what happens is then it helps your lymphatic system to drain in your face. So I'm just going to kind of read here a little bit of the list that I found, and I have 2 links that I found that were very, very important when I did some research on this, on the vagus nerve. And so I want to go through a list of a few of them that you can do. Pardon my reading glasses, it's the age thing. Taking a cold shower, or being immersed in cold. Now for me, being immersed in cold it actually makes my ears hurt. So I can't really do that. For some of you though, it may help stimulate your vagus nerve. Singing or chanting, one of my favorites, okay? Yoga, meditation, having positive social interactions with people also helps it, because what it does is it helps activate oxytocin. And when our oxytocin levels are in check and they are balanced, and we're feeling more of that loving feeling, that stimulates and makes everything flow of our lymphatic system, of our vagus nerve, and everything else as well. Laughter stimulates that, because our vagus nerve actually, again, going back to this spot right here, it starts at this spot back here in the back of our head, that kind of little spongy spot, you know, that you can feel. And sometimes you can kind of just put your thumb right there at the base of it, and then you kind of go across with your fingers, is what this woman had taught me in massaging. So probiotics, exercise, massage, fasting, sleeping or laying on your right side can also stimulate your vagus nerve. Now for digestion purposes and for kidneys and whatnot, because of the death that I had last year that many of you know about, I lay a lot on my left side because that helps balance my kidneys better. But I do spend time on my right side when I sleep as well. Gargling, things like Tai Chi, and zinc. Zinc is something that's very important, that most people do not have a lot of zinc in their diet. And a loss of zinc can, you know, make your vagus nerve very sluggish. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you within the massage part is, part of it was given to me when I had the ear candling done. And the other part I again received in meditation as I was having the ear candling done. So what I do, and I make this a practice every day now, I do it at least once a day. Sometimes if I'm traveling, I do it on the bus or the train. Other times I just do it as part of my morning meditation. You know, but I at least try to do it once a day for sure, if not more than once a day. And what this does, again, it'll stimulate your vagus nerve, which will help with the ear ringing and the tinnitus. And also with your balancing of your gut and things of that nature. So before I get into the massage, one of the other things I want to touch on, which may be a little difficult for you to do when you're doing the massage, but also helps, is deep breathing. Deeply breathing in, we call it the Buddha belly breath, or the diaphragmic breath as singers. And if you recall as being a child, or you watch a child when they sleep, their belly expands, very relaxing when they breathe in. So you want to practice that, because that can also, breathing exercises can also stimulate your vagus nerve. Okay, now I try to incorporate and do both the deep breathing at the same time. I do them in sets of 4. For a reason. 4 is a very powerful number. The 4 seasons, the 4 calendar months, the 4 essences of Lemuria, and things of that nature. The 4 elements in terms of the main 4. There's 5. There's technically 6, but the 4 main elements in that sense. The 4 directions. 4 is a very powerful number. for various reasons. It also happens to be my life path number as well in numerology. But that said, it's very powerful. So I do at least 4 breaths in this deep breath. And I usually start that out and I do 4 slow deep breaths in and deep breaths out. And as I'm breathing in the essence of love, calmness, centeredness, peace. And as I breathe out all the toxins, all the cares and worries of the day, all things that no longer serve me. Okay, and I do this multidimensionally, so not just here in this life, I do this across the multidimensions. So, that said, this massage that I do, either at the same time, I take 4 cleansing breaths first. Then I also do the breathing with the massage. And so what you want to do is just kind of start up here with your sinuses. And you want to be able to massage them, but really you want to be able to just pull it down so that it's going to your Eustachian tubes. And you want to do this here as well. And here across the cheekbones as well. And then down here in these lower sinuses. And I'm doing this quickly, but you can do this as little or as long as you wish. And just kind of pushing it towards the Eustachian tube, and you can feel it pressing on your ears as you come towards the sides. Now, specifically for tinnitus or ear ringing or ear buzzing that you're feeling multidimensionally, to help with it as well, the nerves that are down here, rubbing this, massaging this, both counterclockwise and clockwise, and pushing it down as well in this area, helps to do that. And then you want to come over here, and I'm just going to do it on one side, but you can do this on both sides, you know, of your head like this. But I'm going to do it on one side so that you could see it as best as possible. You want to get to that place right here, if you can see it on the camera, where your thumb is, and you want to be able to massage this as well. Okay, now you can do this with your fingers, starting with your head as well, coming back up after you've done your face. You can go this way and just massage it, kind of like, you know, when you go and take a shower and you're massaging shampoo into your hair. You want to do it like that. But also making sure that you're pushing it gently. You don't want to do it hard or harshly, but you want to do it gently so that you're pushing down towards that spot. And then again, you want to get back down to this spot here, and you want to be pushing down gently. Okay, you can apply a little bit of force, but you don't want to do it too hard. But you want to massage this. You can do it, you know, in a circular motion, but also pulling yourself down, and then come down with your hands and bring it down into your Eustachian tube and massage that and bring that down. And you don't want to stop there. And here's why you don't want to stop there. A lot of people just kind of stop there and just do the head and that little part of the neck. Right here, and I've talked about this on my videos before, right here, and for women, I'm not trying to flash anybody, but I'm going to kind of give you a context for women and for men. Men, it kind of starts in the same place, but for women, it's right up at the top here where your cleavage starts. Okay, so right here, and it kind of goes up to right here, is what's known as your thymus gland. Now, your thymus gland, as you get older, diminishes in its capacity. You start out with it very strong as a wee child, and then as you get older, it limits its capacity. So as you come into massaging that, it's this straight area right here, and then it branches out like butterfly, okay, like butterfly wings, if you will, across our chest. And it connected with the thymus gland in there is also your lymphatic system. And for men, it goes down to your pectoral muscles. For women, it goes down into your breasts. So what's very important is that you continue this massage, and you want to do this on both sides. I'm just doing it on one side right now to demonstrate. But you want to be able to continue focusing and massaging and bringing this down so that you continue in a circular motion to massage this area. Okay, and you want to continue to massage your thymus gland, your heart center, your heart chakra, because this stimulates not only your vagus nerve, but it also stimulates your lymphatic system and your thymus gland, all of which help open you up spiritually, multidimensionally in soulful essence, and also keeps the body running smoothly. It helps get rid of depression and anxiety. And as you're doing this along with the breathing, you're going to see your mood lift. If you have any depression or anxiety, you're going to have a better digestion. Your organs are going to start working more efficiently, kidneys and things of that nature. I do this for my own kidney health as part of my regimen as well, and I was doing it the whole time, but I added some of these other things that I received in meditation, and then along with the ear candling as well. And so then the other thing that's beneficial that you want to do is continue this, and then I'm going to show here, you want to come down here into your lymphatic system in your underarms. Now, wearing deodorant is, especially the toxic with the aluminium in it, is not good for you. Okay, so I wear crystal deodorant and have been for probably about 20 years now. And that's the better for you. But what you want to do is you want to go under your arm and you want to massage this area too. Okay, and then carry it down, women, into massaging your breasts. Massaging your breasts is part of your lymphatic system, and it's very helpful for drainage. Okay, now men, the same thing, pectoral muscles, you know, people call them man boobs jokingly, but nonetheless, your pectoral muscles are similar to our breasts. So you want to be able to, because it holds the lymphatic system in there, and also your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so you want to be able to massage this, and then you can continue going down. I do something that's known as Tinei Tsang, which is an abdominal massage. I believe it's Chinese or it's Ayurvedic or something of that nature. Now, I will continue and do that, but I don't always do that during the day. You know, once a day, I do that, you know, probably a couple of times a week. But you want to be able to do this so that this helps keep you flowing. Okay, energetically, and then again, it'll help with not only the drainage, but the tinnitus or the ear ringing from an earthly perspective. Now, after I do this, and again, it usually takes me 5 minutes or so to do that type of massage and get things stimulated and moving. I drink water. Now, I drink water daily anyways, and I drink, you know, anywhere between 2 to 3 liters of water a day, simply because of who I am spiritually and things of that nature, because my body requires it for the spiritual work that I do. That said, though, usually you want to make sure that afterwards you drink water, okay, and you keep drinking water throughout the day so the toxins can flush out of the body. All right, so from a soul perspective, again, this has more to do with the multi-dimensions and shifting multi-dimensions into various different frequencies. And as you tune into that and become more cognizant of that, you can tune into which dimensions you're in. Again, there are infinite dimensions, just like there's infinite strands of DNA, which is part of the RNA. And for those of you who don't know about that, you can see my videos on YouTube and Facebook about that as well, having to do with RNA and DNA. That said, now you have a better understanding, and for those of you who've been asking, so many of you have been asking questions or putting comments about this ear ringing and wondering what's going on. It's about our multidimensional shift in consciousness, individually and collectively. And then there's also the physical aspect of it, because it is body and soul, soul and body. So as you keep both in alkalinity, where the body and soul are alkaline, dis-ease cannot exist. And that is encompassing everything. You want to have an alkaline body by eating the proper foods, getting proper water, exercise, sunlight, loving relationships, but also the thought processes, okay, in our mind and in our heart, and our vibrations and our feelings and emotions are also requiring to be alkaline. So with this, I will send you infinite blessings to you from Scotland, and I love you all, and may your day or evening or wherever you are on this earth be infinitely blessed with so much love. And I will be coming to you soon from a special surprise for my birthday here in a few days. So much love to all of you. Espada.